CO Radio. Hopefully, you're having a wonderful afternoon listening to a great mix of music. I got the Vice President Sarah here. How's it going?
Hi, it's good. Well, this interview is going to be super fun because it's hot outside.
It is very hot
So
out.
we're going to give you some tantalizing people to do some fun activities and drink,
And
which we all need to do.
not only that, I've been looking forward to this interview since we had it on the books because one, I love golf, and two, I love whiskey. In fact, when I went to yeah, I know, right? Isn't that weird? When I went to this distillery, Mitch, who works there, made me, I kid you not, the greatest old fashioned I've ever had in my life. And I'm not just blowing smoke right here. Just absolutely amazing, delicious. So we have two wonderful people in our studio today. If you are listening on K4CORadio.com, or the K4CO Radio mobile apps, do know that you can switch over to the K4CO Radio social media platforms. We're all over Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, and you can see our lovely faces here. And if you have any questions or comments or anything like that, throw them in the comments section on the social media platforms, or just message the station through the app, or if you're listening on K4CORadio.com, just contact the station, and our producer Jacob will alert us to those. And yeah. Let's get the show on the road. Sarah, who do we have?
I know it. Well, I'm going to introduce both of them. And this interview actually is presented by Spark. And we've had the Spark program on for a couple different interviews. So I wanted to give kind of a preview for all of our viewers and listeners who aren't familiar with the Spark program as well. So the Spark program is a 6-month accelerator program for small to medium-sized businesses based in the city of Centennial. And it is absolutely amazing for so many different reasons. Businesses and owners and VPs, et cetera, get to know other businesses in the area, and they get to plan events that they otherwise probably would not. And so it's a great way of getting the community involved. So it is open up again in, I believe, January. So definitely take a look at applications. You can go to the City of Centennial's website, go to the Businesses tab, and below that you will find Spark. So if you are a business owner, know someone that they might be interested in this, it's a great way to get connected to the community. I'm now an alum and get to participate and get to see all these amazing new businesses come forward. So without further ado, we have Josh Hunt, who's the VP of Branch and Barrell Distilling, and Jennifer Stillwell, the owner of Golf Haus. And for all of our listeners, Branch and Barrell Distilling, you can go to babdistilling.com for more information. They are located, of course, in Centennial at 15353 East Hinsdale Circle, Suite C in Centennial. And if you'd like to call them, you can do so at 720-663-0468. And we will be throwing up pictures occasionally of tantalizing, mouthwatering drinks. So I won't look. I will divert my eyes. And then Jennifer, who's the owner of Golf Haus, you can go to Golf Haus, and that's golf, G-A-U, nope, knew I was going to do it wrong. Golf Haus, Haus.co. Yes, got it. They're located at 8223 South Quebec Street, Suite L in Centennial. And you can call them at 720-749-5189.
And first of all, that was a lot.
That was a lot.
Right there. First of all, I want to ask Jennifer, it's not house, is it?
Well, that's what I say, but other people say different. Like, I think in Germany, like, there's a proper pronunciation.
Like Haus?
Haus.
Oh,
yeah.
Haus. Golf
But
Haus.
we say golf house.
Oh.
Yeah, that's all we say.
Oh, for our German listeners,
But we
no,
don't
we gotta
correct
represent.
anyone that says different. You can say whatever you would like to.
All goes wonderfully.
Yes.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well, Jennifer, let's start with you. What originally brought you to the Spark program? And then tell us a little bit about Golf Haus or Golf Haus.
Yes. Yeah. So we got connected with the Spark program through Veronica, who we absolutely love. And it's been so helpful and so many resources and just like meeting people like you, alumni through the Spark program. We're having a lot of fun with it.
Nice. And how long have you been, because you're an owner, correct?
Yes.
Are
my
you the
husband and I.
So, okay. So
Yeah,
two of you are
that's
the
it.
owners.
Yeah.
How long has golf, what do you want me to
Haus.
say? House?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
For our German listeners, I'm sorry.
Yes.
You can throw in some
Apologize.
comments to say I'm saying it incorrectly. How long have you all been the owners?
So we started about a year and a half ago.
Nice.
So December 2024, like right before Christmas is when we opened.
Okay. And what made you all decide to
Ugh,
go on this journey?
so I was a new beginner. I honestly got into golf because I like the outfits. They're very cute. My
Nice.
husband played golf growing up, played in college, played professionally for like 4 years.
Oh, wow.
And then he got a real job after he stopped playing, and we had a family. He played in tournaments every so often, but didn't really play on a regular basis, and didn't really want to play anymore. And then our kids grew up, moved out, and I kind of got into golf and dragged him back in. And we felt the need, especially me being a new beginner. Golf courses are very intimidating. You don't know what to do, you don't know what to stand. They can be very proper. And he just helped ease that. And I thought, well, wouldn't it be great if there was like a great place you could go that took the pressure off? You could, wear whatever you wanted to wear, and you wouldn't have to find your ball in the woods. So that's kind of how it all started.
I love it.
Yeah.
So give us an overview. Is this where people go and play? Do you have simulators? Do you have food? What is Golf House all about?
Yeah, so we have 5 simulators. It's called Golf Zone Technology. So it's a Korean company, and it's kind of cool. The floor moves to simulate the lie on the golf course.
Ooh.
And then you have different surfaces that you can hit it out of. So like a greenside bunker, fairway bunker, different levels of rough. You can actually putt out, and it gives you video feedback, and there's an app where it will give you an AI analysis of your swing. There's driving range mode. There's also 270 courses that you can play from around the world. So we have like Pebble Beach, St. Andrews, Royal Birkdale, which they're playing the Open this week. So you can come and play that. But we also have like arcade games. So you can play like Whack-A-Mole, Wild West, so anybody can play.
That sounds like a
Nice.
golf simulator on crack on steroids. I love it.
I've never had one where it actually moves
Moved?
before.
I know.
It's pretty cool.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
I've seen it. So can you still actually see the line of the
Yes.
ball?
Yeah, so
and
it's-
it'll like move.
Well, no.
So when you're on sand, do you start to kind of sink?
No, the floor will like articulate to like if you're in a sand bunker, like in Ireland and Scotland, you know how they're the really deep
Oh, yeah.
bunkers.
Uh-huh.
So it will articulate to however the ball
Gotcha.
lies on
Cool.
the golf course.
Nice.
So yeah.
Josh, do you play golf?
No.
No, you do not.
I melt in the sun. So
Yeah, so do I.
So
Yeah.
a place like Golf House is actually perfect for me because if I was going to play golf, I would do it indoors.
Absolutely, yeah. I have to put on so much sunblock when I'm golfing. It's insane. Like 3 times.
You need
in
sunblock
18
walking
holes.
to your car.
I do. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Let's be real.
And of course, with golf, whiskey goes hand in hand. I
Yes,
mean, I
of
actually, believe it
course.
or not, I played golf sober once for 7 holes.
Sounds
And-
awful.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that?
Sounds awful.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
It was absolutely horrible. In fact, it was the worst golf I've ever played in my life. And then the cart girl came. I'm like, I need shots, I need beers, and I started playing golf. So yeah, I absolutely love it. Let's turn over to some whiskey
I know
right
it.
now. Josh, for listeners who may be new to you, what is the story behind Branch and Barrel Distilling?
So 15 years ago, almost, we started as a backyard hobby bootlegging project in a garage. And 15 years later, now today, we are still essentially moonshining in a garage. The garage is just bigger now. We actually started because the owners, who had all come together, met each other through their day jobs and just decided to make bourbon as a hobby, essentially, or moonshine as a hobby. They had decided that the bourbons and whiskeys that were out there just weren't quite for them. So they
Mhm.
wanted to figure out what could Colorado do for whiskey and bourbon if we made a legitimately authentic Colorado style bourbon. And that means different things to different people, but to the owners back in the late 2010s, that meant trying to keep everything as local as possible.
Right.
They got all of their grains through local agricultural connections. They got their initial gear, I think, at Amazon.com and Bass Pro Shops, which is not necessarily local, but to say that it was truly made, distilled in a backyard in Colorado. And they even went to the lengths of wanting to age on Colorado wood as well. And for a number of reasons, barrels were kind of out of the question. They weren't producing enough. It was, kind of a questionable gray area with some respect to some other things. And they also wanted to say like this was a whiskey made with Colorado wood. So they were making the moonshine, putting it in mason jars, and then flavoring it, aging it on charred tree branch trimmings from their backyards. So they tried plum wood and cherry wood and peach wood and all these different kinds of trees that they found, actually cut the bark off, charred it, aged it in there. So that was their approximation of barrels initially. And as part of how we got our name, that's the branch and barrel. We started aging on branches, and now the mindset kind of hasn't changed. We're still very DIY. We're still very inventive with our practices. In fact, we build all of our own equipment from scratch. Our distillery was built out of an automotive garage. That's why I joke that we're still in a garage. Was built out by the three founders. One of them did the concrete work, one of them did the electrical work and the plumbing, and they essentially were able to put all of this together through their own hands and their own skill sets. So they took this concept of literal Colorado moonshining using exclusively Colorado ingredients from just a little, mason jars full of hooch to today. We have the capability to produce approximately 450 barrels of Colorado craft whiskey a year. And through all of that time, we're actually in year 10 and a half right now. We'll be turning 11 in September. And through all of that time, we've kept things exclusively Colorado local. Our grains all come from Colorado, either Dairy Co-op in Wiggins or Alamosa area. We work with Proximity Malting down in the San Luis Valley. Our water comes from a private source that is aquifer fed, centuries old Rocky Mountain snowmelt water.
Mm-hmm.
And we make everything, all the whiskey is made from scratch in Centennial, and always has been. It's always been made from the same location since we opened at the end of 2015.
I like that too, and I believe it. We've been there, and we've actually taken a tour of this place. And it's not like, when you get those water bottles, oh, this came from the icebergs of Norway, this
With the pink flower.
Really?
You're like,
Exactly.
No, I'm glad you mentioned that. Yeah, so for our listeners and viewers, I highly recommend not only do you try their whiskey, but go in for a tour.
People can book a tour, right?
Yes, they can.
It was amazing. We were there. I didn't want to leave. I mean, I'm thank you for giving us that much time. You gave us at least an hour and a half or 2 hours, and it was so fascinating because you all do it a little bit differently. And Josh and I are both natives to Colorado, so that's really amazing how much of all of your product actually comes from the state. But you all actually have and forgive me if I'm saying this wrong, kind of a slower process when you're actually making it. Because there's a heads and tails somewhere in there. I'm butchering it, Josh, save me. But you do something really different than most distilleries.
Well, we have the unique approach that comes with a system that was designed by somebody who had never intended to make whiskey in their lifetime. So one of our owners was a certified master plumber at 18 years old. So he's been around. He definitely knows the craft very well. And he looked at a still system and said, cool, well, I can build this. And I'm going to do it my way. And I'm going to do it in a way that I believe is correct versus, all the other still systems that you can buy that are plug and play. So for better or for worse, our system is completely proprietary. It was all designed by one of our owners. It was all hand put together by one of our owners. They did the welding, they did the design. It's largely made from recycled stainless steel equipment from different parts of the industrial manufacturing industries, just like various places. We get things from ex-petroleum engineering, we get things from healthcare, we get things from breweries and distilleries that have gone out of business and put things on auction. So we essentially took this giant collection of stainless steel parts and copper piping and assembled it into a completely functional still that makes whiskey just very differently than I think probably most other distilleries on the planet. And again, it's kind of, we're always very humble about it. We believe that we're doing things the right way for us. I think it's very fair to say that there's no right way or wrong way to distill whiskey, as long as you're not, moonshining in a cave and drinking the methanol that comes off of the top of the still. Don't recommend that. But
it doesn't taste good?
Well, I don't think it would taste good. It'd also make you blind.
Oh, okay. Don't
which
do it.
is super fun. And where a lot of the moonshining lore comes from. But we are very much taking moonshining practices in the modern era and applying them in manufacturing scale. So we like to say that our website says the best damn bourbon in Colorado. It doesn't say the most damn bourbon in Colorado. So we have always been designed for quality over quantity. There are a lot of shortcuts that we could have taken or choices that we could have made that would have produced far more product than we did. But we latched on to the way we were doing things. We believed that the quality and the time it took to make those things made a difference. Our distillation is very unusual for I think with respect to most distilleries around the country. We have our fermentation process is even very different. We do a lot of things unconventionally. It comes from teaching yourself. A lot of the folks at our distillery never necessarily intended to be a distiller or a master blender or, you know, operating a distillery to begin with. So we've all kind of taught ourselves how to do it. We've built it from scratch, and we've learned how to use it as we've gone along and how to make the most out of it. And it just so happens that it makes a terrific, terrific, high quality Colorado style bourbon.
Nice.
And that's really what we're trying to lay claim to.
And man, to get the acceptance and approval from this man is amazing. He's been drinking whiskey since I've known him, so 20 plus years. And for him to say that was the best old fashioned is quite the compliment. And I can smell it. It even smelled just delicious. It just kind of soothes all the way down. It was very good.
And you guys take so much care when you're making a drink. Jacob, our producer, throw up that cocktail pour. Just pouring a drink on this, it takes so much care and so much so many steps, I will say, that it's a beautiful like process. You know, it's not just going to a bar and they just pour, shake, oh, here you go. I mean, it was to the T, like a picture, and that's how you guys do it.
We try to approach mixology with the same way we approach distilling, that we want it to feel intentional. We want it to feel deliberate.
Yep.
And I've kind of danced around a couple of different answers here, but Sarah, you had originally asked, you know, what we were kind of like built the company around, and it was really Colorado style bourbon. That's what it was always supposed to be.
Right.
That's what it was in the owner's backyards, you know, 10 years ago. And that's what it is now. It's a Colorado style bourbon that represents the state authentically. And we've always I think we've been pretty humble throughout the process. You know, a lot of our reputation is based on word of mouth. We've never put a ton of money into advertising. We've really tried to let our product and our people speak to it and speak to each other about it. Mm-hmm. And so we kind of take a humble approach to mixology as well. We don't want people to feel like the drinks we're putting together are unapproachable or unobtainable. We want them priced so that people can enjoy them. We want them to feel approachable and understandable enough so that people can walk in off the street and not feel intimidated by the mixology program or the cocktails or even the whiskey. And that's largely been part of our approach, is just trying to, we're doing what we like. We're making something that we want to make. And, you know, we've never really tried to push it any other way.
And you can tell that you guys definitely enjoy, because if you're not following, follow them on Instagram, because their reels can be quite entertaining.
Oh, they're so funny
and fun.
You guys are nuts.
Yes.
Are you sober doing those?
It's less a question of intoxication and more a question of sleep deprivation.
Gotcha.
Typically, just
Okay.
kind of where
It's
we're at
about
on the
the
insanity
same
scale.
as far as when the brain is functioning.
My favorite is,
Yeah.
bourbon and whiskey with sleep deprivation. You get a really cool, creative process.
That's a unique headspace for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Jennifer, do you drink whiskey, bourbon?
I do.
You
yes.
do?
Yeah, we actually carry Branch and Barrell too.
You carry, bro. I was going to ask that.
Nice.
That is so awesome. In fact, Jacob, throw up there the bar view at Golf Haus. I'm going to say Haus.
Haus.
Yeah, I do know that we have some German listeners. Hopefully I'm saying it right. If not, please, Germany, email us. Send it to us. But you do have a full bar here.
Yeah.
And even looking at these bays and everything, I mean, it's kind of like, it's kind of like bowling alley thing, where you got your own space.
Yep.
You got your own simulator and everything. So tell us more about the concept, the bar. What makes you guys different than other simulator places?
We say great golf, good vibes. So we're all about just hanging out and bringing your friend that might not be good at golf or that doesn't want to play golf, that they can play one hole and just sit and have a drink and some food. So yeah,
like Josh, exactly.
He doesn't have to hit. He can just sit there. He's the vibe.
And you can't really swing all the way, have the ball all the way off and hit your neighbors, right?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're really, really bad. But we've
Fair
never
enough.
had that happen.
Fair
And
enough.
we've had a lot of new beginners, people that have never swung a golf club before. We've hosted, so we did a kids clinic last summer. We're doing another kids clinic next week. So, if the kids can't break something, then we're good.
Good.
Yeah.
Well,
always a good
that's
thing.
wonderful. I was going to go into the different events that you offer. Do you still have different events and clinics available coming up? through
Yeah,
the
so
summer?
we have 3 spots left in our kids clinic next week. So it's any age group, any level. You don't need golf clubs. So it's 4 days a week. Next week from 9 to 11. My lovely husband, patient, very good teacher Mark is teaching the little kids. And then we have leagues. So right now we have a Sunday and Thursday league. We're launching a new league. I believe it's August 6th, but it's all listed on our website. Wednesdays, we do 50% off bottles of wine. So we do a lot of cool things. And then next week, we're doing kind of the Spark event, kind of what part of our project is. So it'll be fun.
Well, let's go into your project then. So this is Thursday, the 23rd,
Yep.
from 4 to 6 p.m.
Yep.
Obviously at your location.
Yes.
And I know, obviously, you're in Centennial. And is it the one location?
Yes.
Have you all thought about doing
We have
another
but
one?
I want to get this
done?
perfected.
Love it.
And then maybe we can talk about.
Good response. Good.
Yeah.
I always throw that out with
Yeah.
people, and that's really good.
Yeah.
So for those that have a kiddo, there's so many of you that still are saying, "Oh my gosh, my kids are driving me crazy." I can't say it too loud because mine may not be in shot of me. But if you have a kiddo and need to and want them to get involved, you can go to Haus, Haus.co, and sign up. And this Thursday, it's next Thursday.
Yeah. The
2
23rd.
Thursdays, the 23rd, 4 to 6, for the love of local, FORE, love the play on words.
Yeah.
Tell us about the different people and businesses you're partnering with as well.
Yeah, so we're trying to bring in golf-centric people. So we have a personal trainer that focuses on your golf game. He's TPI certified, and forgive me, it's Titleist Performance Institute. I think that's the name. But he does an assessment of your golf swings and then does a workout plan for you. We have a chiropractor. We have Par Hopper, a golf apparel brand. We'll have free golf, drink specials, all of that.
Nice.
Yeah.
And do you have food as well?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of food do you offer?
So we have some good appetizers. We have chips and salsa, spinach dip, a buffalo chicken dip, and then we have paninis.
Oh.
So they're really good.
Nice. And I shouldn't assume, but since you have kids clinic, is
Yeah.
this open for all families, all ages?
Yeah.
Everyone can come in?
Anyone.
Okay. I'm curious about the league. I find this very fascinating.
Yes.
How many people make up a league? Can people go and form their own league and start their own? To explain,
We can.
how
So
how
we've
that
had
works.
customers approach us. They wanted a group of guys that have played together forever. In the winter, they wanted to do an NFL league, so around the day games on Sundays. So we created a league for them. Our Thursday night league tend to be our most popular, and during the height, in the fall, winter, there's 30 people total in the league, so it's 2-person teams, mix of men and women, and you don't have to be good at golf because it's a scramble, so your partner just has to be somewhat good. But yeah, it's fun. We love our league players. We have certain nights that are more competitive than others, but then we also have our Sunday league that they just come and a whole bunch of friends just play.
Nice. So Thursday is a little more competitive.
Tuesday is our more competitive league. Thursday is our most popular league.
Okay.
I think just because of the day of the week.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. That's really cool. I love it, because golfers want to do this year round. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, or fortunately, maybe we'll have snow this year.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah.
But in
Everything
case,
crossed.
I know. I actually really hope we do.
They say we're supposed to.
I hope so.
But it is Colorado. So, I mean, I think the easiest job out there, and I've been applying for this job for years, is a Colorado weatherman because, it could go either way.
Chances are good
that's
tomorrow
job
will come.
security.
Yeah, that's all you have to say.
Exactly. You
Yes.
can go to golfhouse.co, not com, right? CO. That's right. I love that. For all the listeners, we're speaking with Josh Hone, Vice President of Branch and Barrell Distilling, and Jennifer Stillwell, part owner of Golf House here in Centennial. And you can look at all the events on golfhouse.co. Speaking of events, Branch and Barrell, you have one coming up, it looks like, on your website, July 25th.
Yes.
Tell us about this.
A couple days after Golf House, so you can do both. It's gonna be
as
a
people should,
big
do
party
both.
week.
Yeah.
Hang out with them, then come hang out with us.
Yeah.
We'll be there.
Be a big bourbon week.
Yeah, should be a good one. So we are doing a summer barbecue block party. And it's going to be one of our bigger parties this year for sure. That is on Saturday the 25th from 3 to 7 p.m. We are doing that in collaboration with a couple different local brands that we absolutely love. We have, once again, Par Hopper, very popular around the community, who will be doing a pop-up shop with golf apparel and some of the other industry like distillery, brewery, winery themed apparel that they produce as well. Very high quality garments, so that'll be a chance to scoop some really cool merch. We will also have Southern Steer Butcher Shop, also down here in the South Metro, setting up a grill operation in our back of house. So they're going to be cooking fresh meats, barbecue themed menus. So think like brats, burgers, that kind of stuff. And that'll all be made fresh on site using their very high quality meats. They will be providing, of course, the nourishment that evening. In addition to the delicious cocktails, we'll have a couple of themed drinks for the summertime as well. And then we'll have a live DJ from 4 to 7 p.m. That's DJ Strauss House, a good friend of ours who loves to party.
That's awesome.
I think I'm in love with this interview. This is just...
They kind of have it all, right?
It does, exactly. Especially for me. And
we might need to roll out a cot for you.
if my father was still alive, he would be at both of these places every single day. Yeah, absolutely love it. And Colorado character. Josh, again, kind of go into the Colorado character, Branch and Barrel Spirits. What makes your whiskey distinctly local, not just another bourbon on the shelf? You went into it a little bit, and then kind of throw in, you guys are heavily involved in the community. I love that. And you bring out actually distinct bottles. In fact, our producer, Jacob, wanted me to mention, I don't know who this is, Sydney, says shout out, and thanks for the one bottle. Amazing stuff. Have a great show. I think this is a great show. But you do a lot of great stuff in the community, especially with nonprofits. Tell our listeners a little bit about that.
Sure. So we'll dig a little bit deeper into the local whiskey first and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
We, in addition to all the other things I've kind of talked about, we really wanted this to be a Colorado-centric project. It was just really important to the owners from the beginning. And it's something that the team, as it's been built over the years, has obviously been very passionate about as well. When I started off on the sales team for Branch and Barrel 4 years ago, and it was tremendously fun to be selling a specifically Colorado product. And this, the industry has even changed a lot over the last 4 years, but it's something that we find that what we're doing is, and again, no right way, no wrong way. We do really firmly believe that there's distilleries that are trying to make whiskey that tastes like it is, a little bit more inspired by the more traditional whiskey regions like Kentucky and Tennessee. There are whiskey states that have really leaned into their own regional style. I think shout out to Texas for that one. They've really found like an identity in the distilling scene. And we, that really inspires us to really latch onto the idea of what should Colorado bourbon taste like. It should taste like it was made here using local ingredients, made with unique processes that are, built around the state and around the state's terroir, the climate, the agriculture. And it should showcase all of those things too. And ultimately, we really want our whiskey to taste like it was made and aged in Colorado. So we lean into not only the local grains, but also the climate here. It makes a huge difference on the way that whiskey ages and matures. And to kind of just give a quick snapshot without getting too deep into it, I think everybody probably who lives here or has been here is aware of the very dramatic temperature swings that we get during the day and night. It can go from 50 at night to 90 during the day.
Yep.
And for those who know how whiskey matures, how it ages in the barrel, the more dramatic the temperature swings, the more forced filtration there is through the wood, which is not only flavoring the whiskey through extraction, but also charcoal filtering it. So when you have swings like that almost every day of the year, you're getting a lot more interaction with the spirit and the wood. And so it extracts flavor more quickly and it also filters more quickly. And there's a debate in the industry as to whether extraction and maturation are the same thing. I'm not here to give you guys an answer on that one, but I will tell you that it does make a really, really distinct difference. And when you really lean into the climate and the way that affects the whiskey, you come out with a product that is both smoother and more flavored at a younger age. So we like to think that our whiskey's not too young or too old. It's just right for when we're releasing it.
And you mentioned the wood earlier. Can you say what kind of wood your barrels are, or no?
Oh yeah, okay. We can now. I mean, we as fun as it would have been to age whiskey on charred tree branches forever. When we opened the distillery, we immediately transitioned to using industry grade barrels. Okay. So it's all new charred American oak. We've worked with cooperages in New York. We're now working with a cooperage in West Virginia. And that's kind of an exciting thing too, is depending on where the wood comes from in the country, it can impart slightly different character into it as well.
Mm-hmm.
But not too many Colorado cooperages, unfortunately.
You are in the right job. You really are. Every time you just light up. You have so much passion about it, and the knowledge you have is amazing.
Who knew drinking could be this fun?
I see the other side of it, right? But just, the background and the education that you have, you can just tell it lights you up.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And while we talk about your role in the community and everything like that, I want to throw up a picture of awards, bottles awards from you guys, because man, if you haven't tasted it, you really have to. And this comes from a bourbon whiskey guy. So talk a little bit about the awards, but mainly the bottles that you do for the community.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Before jumping onto that, I should say too that art and science is really what's fun about this. You mentioned how excited I get. That's really what it is I've worked in beer, I've worked in fine wine, I'm now working in spirits, and like really learning how all of that gets put together and all the effort and art that goes into it is really what makes this a fun job. So the special releases, we've done a ton of those.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are community oriented. Many of them are collaborations with different breweries and wineries around the area. We've also worked with some other great distilleries around the area. We had a terrific collaboration we did last year. We called it Skill Check because we are all Dungeons and Dragons fans and a bunch of nerds in this industry. And we worked with Mile High Spirits, Root Shoot Spirits, and our friends at Whiskey Slickers, who also run Broads of Bourbon. It's a national whiskey club who do a ton of awesome barrel picks. They kind of orchestrated the 3 distilleries coming together, so we got to do a super fun collaboration with those guys. I think we actually just recently sold out of the last bottles, but it was one of the coolest things we've ever put out, and being able to work with those 2 awesome distilleries was an honor. They're both very prolific in the distilling scene in their own right. We've worked with breweries around the South Metro and in Denver, Denver Brewing Company, 222 Brewing, Elizabeth Brewing Company, Los Dos Patrios Brewing, just to name a few. We've worked with Purgatory Cellars and the Wine Barrel in Parker as well. And if I'm forgetting anybody, I sincerely apologize. There's been a lot of collabs, but they've all turned out awesome. And a lot of those do get submitted for awards. I think we're at like 45 awards and counting at this point, and that's over the last 4 years. We'd submitted a few here and there beforehand, but we really started dedicating time, energy, and resources to getting things sent into competitions in 2022. We've won some gold medals, some double gold medals, some best in show. Our wheated bourbon in particular has been pulling a lot of weight on the hardware side these last couple of years. And it's always very gratifying to hear that judges like us as well. It's not just us sitting here like, yeah, this is great. And we get a lot of that feedback from the community,
Awesome.
Oh,
and from our customers and from our retail and on-premise partners too. But winning awards feels good. So we're really, really proud to say that we've got a pretty nice collection of those. On the community side, we actually have done a number of charity and nonprofit organizations single barrel projects that have been a little bit more kind of on the private side of things, just like very specific benefits. We've worked with the Research Chefs Association. We've worked with Arapahoe Fraternal Order of Police. We've worked with the South Metro Firefighters Association, Denver Firefighters 858. We've actually got a really cool one we're working on right now behind the scenes as well that I'm not allowed to talk about, but it's coming and it's going to be awesome. And then we've got, of course, the kind of the crown jewel, I think, on the nonprofit side of things, at least in the South Metro, that's really gained a lot of attention for the programming we're trying to do for the community, was a collaboration with the Centennial Arts and Cultural Foundation. And that kind of came together at the end of last year. Just kind of, we were at an event speaking with former Mayor Stephanie Pico and how cool it would be to support the arts project that they're working on in Centennial Center Park, which, for those of you who don't know about that is bronze statue installations of the Arapahoe Sheriff's Department canine dogs, they're a really important part of the community down here. And we've always, we've partnered with a lot of law enforcement and military. And so it made a lot of sense to us to say yes to that project. So we actually are selling that bottle in our tasting room. It's a really unique collaboration with a brewery that unfortunately doesn't exist anymore. That was Little Dry Creek Brewing Company, which was previously at Grange Hall, which became Cherry Creek Food Hall. And it was a Belgian, what was it? I'm going to get this wrong. It was our bourbon aged in our own barrels that briefly held Belgian, I think it was Belgian Golden Strong Ale with cacao nibs. If Mitch was here, he would have those exact details. But
that's totally wrong. I have no idea what you just said. Sounded really cool.
Yeah, you shouldn't have said it might be wrong because no one would know.
Exactly.
Well, you can find out. You can at me in the comments if I'm getting that wrong. It's on our website. Essentially, though, really unique beer barrel collaboration. The Arts and Cultural Foundation folks came in. They got to taste a bunch of different barrels. They selected that one because it was super unique and just absolutely delicious. It kind of has like a German chocolate cake kind of flavor profile.
Ooh.
But
you
Oh,
the bottle sales are something that you are available through the distillery. 75% of every bottle purchased goes directly to the foundation and to that arts project. So we're really proud to say we've been able to raise, I think, over 15 grand for that at this point.
that's awesome. That's very cool.
nice.
And that kind of segues into just something that's really important to us, which is, that's certainly not the only example of work we've done in the community. The private single barrel projects are a little bit more unique to the causes that they support. But we've also donated over the years that we've been tracking it, which is about 4 years, to numerous auctions all over the community. We've supported a lot of gala events for nonprofit organizations. We actually have a rotating charity cocktail of the month program. It was started by our master blender Mitch and our operations manager Cassie back in 2022. They just decided, like, hey, why don't we just support a different cause every month? And so we've supported over 48 causes at this point since that was enacted. They're almost all different. Sometimes we get repeats, but they're almost all different. And we pick a different cocktail. Our bar team gets to kind of play and come up with a really cool recipe. We showcase that each month, and then 50% of the proceeds get donated directly to the organization.
Nice.
And through all those things together, we have raised over $20,000 a year since 2022, and that's split across probably 200 different organizations at this point.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Nice.
awesome. Very cool.
That is great. I'm gonna kind of throw that question in your direction right now as well. The community aspect of it. First of all, Colorado is has a massive golf community.
Yes.
I mean, I don't even know how many golf courses there are.
Oh, we should.
We should.
Oh,
I should
do
look
you
that
know
up.
in the
No,
top? Do you know?
there's a lot.
I think
There's
we have a few
lot of
hundred,
Mhm.
if I recall.
public, private
Yeah.
courses, really cool courses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, how did you, and you've talked about this a little bit, where you guys are for the beginners, where it's intimidating. You're for like the people who play golf all the time, the masters and everything like that. So how do you cater to the serious enthusiasts while still being welcoming to people who are brand new, maybe a little intimidated, and then also get the community involved?
Yeah.
Who
Like-
I play snowman golf. I just give
Uh,
myself an 8
yeah.
and call it a day.
Well,
it never
if-
is an 8, but that's what I put on.
I
the
would say
card.
if I intended to get it in the hole, it could be a birdie. Like
Yeah.
it was my intention to get it in the hole on
I
that
like
putt,
it.
and I'm not gonna 3-putt. It was my intention on the first putt to get it in the hole.
I like that
Yeah.
intentional golf score.
Yes,
I like it.
intentional. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we just I feel like our technology is a great example of why it's good for a beginner and why it's good for people that are really, really into golf. Because it gives you as much data as you would ever want to know, like smash factor, your ball speed, your club angle, and it will give you where you're hitting the ball on your club and give you
Like
I
the
don't
angles and
even
stuff.
know like all of the you can just geek out on
terminology.
all of the
Will it actually tell you when you stand up there, hey, you should use a wedge or use an...
Yes.
Okay.
So
Oh,
on
that's
the golf
nice.
course it will suggest a club for you. But we also have like cool golf courses that you would pay thousands and thousands to travel there
Sure.
and to get a tee time that you can play for $50 to $70.
Even Scotland?
Yeah, Scotland. So we have St. Andrews. We have a cool K Club that's in Ireland. There's tons of courses all around the world. We actually have a course in Norway that sits above the Arctic Circle. It's cool in the summer if you actually go there between I think May and August, but you can play 24 hours a day. And
Nice.
it's such a cool course. And it just feels realistic for the golfer that is seasoned and even the new golfer. You can always play a scramble with your husband, so you don't have to, hole out. You can do a concede circle. There's things, and we have virtual courses that you can play. For new beginners, we always suggest one. It's called Life Best. There's no out of bounds. It's kind of cool trick shots way downhill, so it will go really far, but it's kind of cool.
I'm curious, so because you have leagues, of course.
Yes.
Do you have different sliding kind of pricing scales to say I'm going to come in one time, or do you have event pricing and then league pricing? How does that all
Yeah,
work?
so Monday through Thursday from 9 until 4, it's $50 an hour. And then after 4, Monday through Thursday, it's $60 an hour. And then on the weekends, so Friday through Sunday from 9 till noon, it's $60, and then afternoon it's $70. But
Okay.
that's per hour, not per person.
Okay.
So you can have up to 6 people logged into a simulator. So if you can split that by $50 by 6 people, I mean, that's way less than playing on an actual golf course.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, significantly.
And then our league prices, so it's $100 registration, so $50 per person, and then $35 per week.
Nice. Okay.
And then there's some good prizes that we have.
I actually was
So-
going to ask that, different leagues, because some are more competitive. So what do you
Yes.
get if you win?
Well, so
I'm
that's
insanely
Is
competitive.
one of the
Yeah.
prizes a bottle of
bottle of
Branch and
whiskey?
Barrel?
It could be, yes. Josh has donated.
All
Yeah,
right,
they
I'm
have
coming.
donated.
That's
You're
right.
on my I want the chocolate one. I'm just floating that out.
Yeah, that's really good. We actually bought a bottle when we went to your release party. It was yummy. I think that's Mark's favorite.
Chocolate German cake.
Yeah,
You lost
the
me at
chocolate
cake.
But that's part of the program that we're doing with Spark, or our program that we're doing, is trying to engage local businesses that our customers are their customers too, and to get prizes for our league members. We've done things like tours, bottles. We've had some golf paraphernalia donated. I think Breck Brewery donated some golf polos. So that's kind of the engagement with like local businesses and with our golfers.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
awesome. Well, yeah, the German cake whiskey. I butcher it. I'm sorry, Josh. I'm not as eloquent as you. Just the cake one. I want the cake
Just
The
call it the
label
cake
is
one.
very cool too.
What, What's it called again?
That one is Sculpted in Spirit.
Sculpted
That's the
in
CACI
Spirit.
Ooh,
collaboration.
it even has
Yeah.
a sexy name too.
Yes, it does.
Oh man, I actually had a dream about whiskey the other, and I'm not even a drinker.
Ooh.
I know.
Mm.
It like coated so beautifully all the way down. You just felt the warmness. It was a lovely dream.
For those just listening on the radio, you just missed out right there.
It was lovely. It's because when I can smell it, you can almost taste just the soothingness going down.
Right.
It's like a warm blanket.
Warm blanket. Yes, that's what whiskey is. Exactly. I have a question for both of you. We're going to start with Jennifer on this one. Was because both of these, with both of you, this kind of was a hobby that just developed into something awesome. Was there a specific moment when you thought, this is more than a hobby, this is going to be a real business? What sparked that turning point?
So Mark and I were playing golf, and we got paired up with these guys, and it was 2 years ago, May. I think it was May, when it was really rainy. And remember, we had the tornado that came through Highlands Ranch.
Yeah.
And they were talking about how hard it was to find a tee time, and with all the rain that they couldn't play outside. And they're like, we played indoor golf. And Mark and I are like, what? What's indoor golf? And we kind of just went down this rabbit hole of finding indoor golf and trying different technologies, seeing what we liked. We're like, we could do this. Like, we always wanted to start something of our own, and it kind of just evolved from there.
Nice.
But yeah, I was in mortgages before, and then I was a paralegal for 20 years, and my husband, played golf, but then was in finance. So we had no experience with small business, running a bar, anything. We
I
just
am
kind of
so proud of you.
delved
I
in.
love
Yeah.
stories like that.
This
It's
was a
like, let's
massive
do
leap
this.
of faith. for
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
you. Wow.
So, okay, so how long are you in? A year and a half, too?
A year and a half.
Year and a half?
Yeah.
What has been the biggest curveball that you didn't expect, being maybe directly affiliated with Golf House or just being an entrepreneur?
I think it's just evolving and what people like. You think that you know what people will like, but they'll tell you. Like when we first started out, we thought, oh, it would be so cool to have wine on tap. And we sold 1 glass of wine. It's more of a beer, bourbon, whiskey place.
Yeah.
So we've just kind of learned what people like and what we want to offer. And you can't always appeal to everyone, but you try to appeal to most. Like, we really try to do everything local. Like all of our taps, we try to do as much spirits local as we can. So we really want that integration with Colorado.
You nailed the entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is spirit. See what I did there? I'm
She's so
trying
funny.
to get a rise out of you, Mr. Hunt. It is. It's to pivot all the time
Yeah.
and be flexible. It
Yeah.
is. You have this vision of what it's going to be, and then you end up way over
Yes.
somewhere else.
Yes.
And it is, and people will tell you, and
Yeah.
that's amazing to
Yeah.
just jump in and the leap of faith, and you can do it.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I got a little smile out of you. It's hard.
I mean, I'm having a great time.
I'm so glad.
All right, Josh.
Yeah,
same question thrown at you.
Yeah, so not having been there for the original genesis of Branch and Barrel and the transition from, hobby to practical manufacturing operation, I'm going to do my best to answer on behalf of the owners based on the lore that I've been exposed to. So the legend has it that as they were going through this moonshining process, they were, they're getting their friends and family involved. Hey, try this. Hey, try this. Hey, try this. And the funny thing is about aging moonshine on random pieces of wood, it's not good very often. So a lot of the early day experiments were kind of just like, oh yeah, I don't know about this one. But it was actually a product that we still make to this day. We call it plumwood whiskey, Colorado plum tree wood, just charred Colorado plum tree wood. That was the one that kind of stuck initially. They found it pretty palatable. They were sharing it with friends and family. They're like, yeah, this isn't bad. They were bringing it to house parties in unlabeled mason jars and leaving it on the booze table just to see what people thought. And sure enough, like I guess this happened enough times that it's relevant to the story that they were finding at the end of the night that the jars were empty. And people were like, oh, what was that? And my hat goes off to anybody who at a house party walked up to a mason jar full of mysterious dark liquid, smelled it, and we still make plumwood. So if you want to know what it smells and tastes like, you can find it at our tasting room. But smelled that and was like, yep, I'm diving headfirst in. So good for those people, not only for being that adventurous, but also for literally being a part of our story, because it was the feedback from those people and from the friends and family that encouraged our owners to say, yeah, it's time to try to do this for real. So I think it was just the encouragement and feedback that they got from this like really unconventional approach and portfolio, I say that in quotations, of original spirits they were producing, that they're like, cool, well, if people like this enough, then let's try to do it for real. So that was kind of the point where it went from hobby to actual manufacturing operations. They saw the potential in what they were doing and had the desire to try to take it to the next level. And then I think the next evolution of the business, this is kind of like a two answer thing. So the point at which I think they realized that they really had something that we could run with was kind of at a changing of the guard between our original team and the new team that exists now as of like 2022. Our team kind of came in with a different mindset and helped to, it was something Jennifer said really jumped out at me, which was, you have to listen to what your customers want. You had this idea going in of, we're going to do this and we're going to do this and we're going to do this and people are going to love it. And sometimes you get surprised. And so it's really been a process of trying to figure out, retroactively and proactively, what has really resonated with people. What have people liked? What are they telling their friends about? What are they getting the most excited about? And so that's kind of our next step forward from, casual to like being really serious about this, is taking that feedback and we're trying to work it into everything that we do, and really trying to let the customers and our friends and our family and our fans and our supporters be a part of the direction of the company. And I think that's our next big step forward, is really doing what the people are asking for.
And you had mentioned earlier on when people were first getting into moonshine that they would become blind and lose their sight. Was that process ever noted in the beginning? Was there ever any like, let's not blind ourselves? When they first started?
They were more careful than the stories led on. They knew enough. They did enough research going into it to understand, and you had alluded to this earlier, the heads, the hearts, and the tails, those are called cuts. And those are part of the distillation process where you're removing the undesirable portions of the distilled spirit.
So I was right?
Yeah, that's absolutely a thing. Yeah.
Okay, I had to give myself some props. Thank you.
But the very first compounds to come off of the still have the lowest boiling points, so they're evaporating first. So those are like the methanol type alcohols that are they're literally poison. And so there were, a lot of the stories and lore of moonshining. Oh yeah, my cousin went blind, and he probably did, because if that person didn't know what they were doing and they were just trying to produce alcohol, then all clear alcohol looks like clear alcohol.
Yeah.
So if you don't know those things going into it, or if you've never tasted it before, you don't know that it's something completely horrible for you. You're just like, oh yeah, this is alcohol.
That's a scary consequence.
Yeah.
I mean, and how truly, how'd you know? The first time you're doing it, you would have no idea. You're tasting it and go, well, now I really don't know.
So yeah,
See,
thankfully,
she laughed.
between all of that knowledge that was laid down for us by those who blazed the trail of original American moonshining, between that and the amount of research the owners did initially, they kind of knew what they were getting themselves into, at least on the what to drink and what not to drink side of things.
That's awesome. Cool. Jennifer, I want to go back over to you. I know we're having too much fun. What do you think is the most fun or creative part of Golf House?
Oh, I feel like all of it is like just I always say I'm the vibe person, Mark is the business person, just because I want to create that environment where you're just having the most fun and you don't want to leave, whether it be the drinks, the food, the golf course, the technology, our bartenders, us, like I just want you to feel like you have known us forever. And like I said this to Mark the other day, like the people we've met, like Josh and Veronica, like I can't believe I've lived here as long as I have and have never met these people. Like they're like all my best friends. Like they're so cool. It's just the vibe. I just love everything about it.
Nice. You're like the cheers of golf.
Yes. Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, you said great golf, good vibes.
Yes.
What makes a good vibe or a great vibe in your opinion?
It's just the feel. And the lighting, we have really good lighting.
Oh, we didn't get into the
It's
music.
kind of similar.
Yeah.
It's kind of similar on the golf course, knowing you're not good at it
Yeah.
and still having a great time.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Do you have actually a golf cart for people like me who?
No.
No. Okay.
But all you have to do is walk like 3 feet to the platform.
Oh no, I meant like.
So-
do you have a simulator where it can actually sit?
Oh, you can sit in the chairs.
Yeah, okay.
There's chairs right behind the golf simulator, so you can just sit there.
Okay. You always have to have a DD.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, of course.
going over the curbs and
Yeah.
just kind of scaring your drunk people.
Right.
Oh.
And the floor moves, so maybe you just sit
Just
that one
saying.
out. Yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
need to go just to.
I don't know any other spot that does that.
Yeah. We
Are
were
you the only one?
So there's a couple so Golf Zone has been around for 20 years, so it's Korean technology.
Okay.
And there are places all around the world where actually they're doing a Golf Zone tour season 3. And it's coming up. It's pretty cool. Like we can put together a team of 4. So you qualify in July and August, and then you play against other places that have our technology in September. So it's like head to head, like you can do live play against another bar. So we could play someplace in England or a place in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And so if we're the top winners, then they bring 2 teams to Orlando of the PGA show and they play live. They built the simulators at the PGA show, and you can win $200,000 for your
wow.
team. So it's pretty cool.
Not bad at all.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe we should
love it.
enter.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When is the cutoff for this?
July and August, you have to qualify.
Oh man. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're in it.
Yeah.
All right. Do we
Yeah.
still have a shot?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All
Yes.
right.
July or August. So you don't have
Okay.
to play both.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like this.
Yeah.
I go to PGA and show some of them up.
Yeah.
Win $200,000. That's awesome.
Your intention was to get a hole in one on every hole. So I think you
I
should
like that.
win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Playing intentional golf. I
Mhm.
really like that.
Yeah.
I intentionally got this score,
Yeah.
even though my scorecard may differ a little bit.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going with that.
I'm going to
Yeah.
start
No.
playing like that all the
Yeah.
time. Goodness. Everybody, we are sitting down with Josh Hunt, Vice President of Branch and Barrell Distilling, and Jennifer Stillwell, owner of Golf Haus. That's right. I did it like that. Branch and Barrell is at 15353 East Hinsdale Circle for all of our Centennial people, actually all over Colorado. So check it out. You can call them 720-663-0468. They have a tasting room that is absolutely amazing. And make sure, at least from me, my advice is to order that old fashioned because absolutely amazing. Golf House is at 8223 South Quebec. That is Suite L in Centennial, 720-749-5189. I love this next question because I ask it all the time. What is one lesson you wish you'd known at the very beginning that you would go back in time and tell yourself? Who wants to start? That was a great response right there. Oh.
I don't even know because I've learned so many lessons along the way just because Mark and I had no like bar experience. So it was, I think it is to evolve. that's the only lesson. I mean, you just have to pivot.
Yeah.
Nice. I
You
like
know,
it.
my hat's off to both of you. I do. I think the hardest thing to ever start for an entrepreneur is what you drink and what you eat.
Yeah.
It
Mhm.
really is so challenging. And I commend you both for doing all of this and just putting your heart and soul into it. Okay, so evolving.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pivoting.
I like it. All right.
I think that's spot on. This is a little redundant to one of the answers I had earlier, but probably the biggest piece of advice that I would give to myself prior to stepping into this role, and even starting with the company, and anyone who's thinking about starting a company or stepping into a role like that, scaling things, whatever it may be, is don't forget to listen to the people that pay your company money. I think coming in and saying, I'm going to do what I want to do and damn the consequences is a really fun story and a really fun, and it's a fun mentality to like build a business on the back of too. You know, it's a little maverick, it's a little like rebel streak, but at the end of the day, the people who give your company money and support your company are the ones who are going to most likely continue to do that.
Mhm.
So listening to that feedback early and often is something that I wish I had kind of woken up to sooner.
Nice. That's awesome. Those are good answers.
I love it.
And for all of you that just joined or joined a little bit late, both of these individuals and their organizations are a part of the Spark program. It's a 6-month accelerator program for all of those small to medium-sized businesses in Centennial, Colorado. You can go to the Centennial website, go to the businesses tab up on the top right, and it will scroll down to the Spark. And it has all of the different companies that have been and are currently involved in. I highly recommend that you give them a look. Reach out to them, especially if you're in Centennial or in the southern area here in Colorado, and build your community. That's what all of this is about. And if I always say, if you don't advertise in some form, whether it be word of mouth or radio or something out there, then you don't exist. So definitely get involved if you can. We're almost halfway through the Spark program. I think more than halfway through, actually. So we are taking applications. I shouldn't say we. The Spark program. I'm
Hi,
an
Spark.
alumni. The Spark program will reopen up for new applicants come January of 27. So definitely take a look and reach out to Veronica. She's amazing. And yeah, she's getting this program just going. I would ask why you joined, but I don't even know if that's a fair question. Were you voluntold?
We joined to support the program, the city, and the community.
Nice.
And we had heard nothing but good things about it. And we are certainly not above accepting help when it's offered. And
Mhm.
so to see a local business accelerator oriented program, we were thrilled to be able to participate.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. Oh, I agree. I need help every day, every moment of my life. So true.
And as a business owner, you don't see how big the community aspect is until you're in that business owner seat.
Completely.
I must say.
And definitely check out, they both are having events almost back to back. So Jennifer's and Golf House takes place on Thursday, the 23rd from 4 to 6 p.m. It's called For the Love of Local, and FORE. I love it. And then following up right after that is Branch and Barrel on Saturday, the 25th from 3 to 7 p.m., their summer barbecue block party. So definitely put both of those on your schedules. I hope that we can make them because, man, I always am hungry and thirsty after these interviews.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm very thirsty right now. We have about 2 minutes left, believe it or not. I'm going to leave this with one question. See if you can answer this in 1 minute each. When you look 3 to 5 years down the road, what do you hope Branch and Barrel and Golf House will be known for?
I think just good vibes and curating people that wouldn't normally play golf. Like, I want you to come and try it. Like, the golf course is intimidating, takes forever, you're hot, sweaty. It's always 72 degrees. You can have a seat. You're never going to lose your ball. So just come and try golf. I just want more people to experience golf because it's really fun and it doesn't have to be, stressful and, people pushing up behind you. It just is fun.
Get out of your comfort zone.
Yes.
Jump out of the frying pan into the fire.
Yes.
Love it.
We just want to be able to say that we helped shape the identity for Colorado-style bourbon and whiskey.
Love it.
Bourbon in particular.
8
Bourbon
seconds. Yeah.
in particular.
Love it.
Well, again, I've been looking forward to this interview since it got on the books, and definitely one of my favorites. If you love whiskey, you love golf, this is it. And if you did kind of jump in towards the end of this interview, do know it's going to be on the social media platforms for K4CO Radio for at least another month, so you can rewind it. If there's somebody you think that loves bourbon, loves whiskey, loves golf, forward it to them, share it to them, and get them over there.
One other thing I wanted to mention, so they are on our social media for a month, but all of our interviews from the very beginning of K4CO Radio are on YouTube. I highly recommend that our business owners jump on there, scroll through all of the different videos in the YouTube, reels, shorts, you name it. If you see someone on here that you want to be connected with, please reach out and let us know. We love connecting other people here in the community, and use that. That's why we're here. So just another shout out to everyone that we've had on. It's such a pleasure. We love our interviews. They're so much fun.
Absolutely do. Absolutely. Thank you both so much for coming in here.
Thanks for having us.
You.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. Thanks for listening, everybody. Stay tuned. Of course, every single day from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., we have one solid hour of only Colorado musicians in our rotation. The rest of the time, they make up 1/3 of our rotation. And then, of course, tonight, 9 o'clock, 9 to 10, we have Kind of Vague Radio, hosted by Andrew Talon, Rob Dixon, a deep dive into Colorado music. But make sure those kids are in bed because they can get a little saucy. Isn't that right, Sarah?
It's true.
It is very true.
Yeah, a little spicy to say the least. We're not regulated by the FCC, so you know what? Hats off to them, and they're hilarious.
They are.
They're super fun to listen to.
They are really fun, and especially if you love Colorado music and Colorado history. They talk about the days in Colorado because they were born and bred here as well. So, thanks again. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Jennifer. Absolutely amazing. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a great Monday, and you'll be hearing from us soon. Take care.